Hi everybody, it's me again, Martin, and today I would like to give you a document on radiation and how the things in our life affect our health. Now, the government tells us that radiation, unless it heats the body, it's not harmful. Well, that's not the fact. This document here, the NMRI, Naval Medical Research Institute, is the people that put it together, under orders by the government, whatever, because Navy personnel were getting sick on ships badly, fatigue, cancers, illnesses, you name it, and this document gives it all. All the tin hat people, what they're saying today about, being sick from radiation, everything they're saying is correct, and it says it all in this document, and I'm going to take you through it quickly, page by page. So anyway, here we go. It's on frequency and how frequency affects our health and what this research has found. So if we go down, this was done in 1972. That's over 50 years ago. So they've known this for over 50 years, yet today they tell us that our mobile phones don't harm us and whatever else, or of little harm. Believe me, I've been in this for a long time, yeah. I've seen breast cancer in the shape of a mobile phone, where women have kept their phones in their bras. Sperm counts going down in men badly, and one of the big causes is mobile phones in your pockets. Look, I've been in this a long time, yeah, and I've seen a lot of things, and I know a fair bit about this. So let's go through it. Done in 1972, yeah. Things that they're covering, keywords. I'll take you through it slowly, so as you can stop later on at any page you want, can't you, and look at it if there's one that interests you. But this document is pretty powerful. I hear all the time about people, sicknesses, illnesses, ailments, whatever, and I never hear people question it, like how comes that we're getting so sick, like cancer, people will know now or whatever. It's not hidden so much, like that 1 in 2 of us will get cancer, and 1 in 2, well, where's this coming from? What's causing it? Now, I was involved in this frequency for a long time, and it's at the beginning when I was turned and went down the rabbit hole. I mean, I used to be a zombie, like most of the people, like most of the citizens around me. They watch the telly and they listen, they believe what's being told to them, even though it's outright lies. And they don't go beyond what they're told from the news on their televisions. They don't research, they don't read into things. It's getting more that people do, but in general they don't. And I'll never understand like this, like, let's just take the cancer one, yeah. 1 in 2 of us is going to get cancer, right? Now that's an obscene number, and what's causing it? And look, I've been in this for a long time. I got involved with a company called Vital years ago. When I found this, I researched and I was looking for best ways to protect ourselves, and I found this company called Vital. It's in the UK, and they do shielding and that sort of thing. There's lots of things that I've seen. Because there's people that are affected by frequency. I I mean, there's a place in America where they've got some big telescope and they're not allowed any frequency there because it affects the telescope. And people that they feel the frequency. Yeah, and I've seen it. There's so many people that are sick. It ruins their lives. And once you've got this, it never goes away. Once you feel frequency and it makes you ill, yeah, it doesn't go away. There's people living in the woods, like near this telescope, which is a frequency-free, man-made frequency-free radiation zone, yeah. People build huts in woods and they live with society, let's say, for so long. And when it becomes unbearable, they go there to get themselves to adjust their bodies. Like, you know, it's awful, honestly. It's really, and there's a lot of them. You know, you never ever read about it, but there's a lot of these people, you know. And things like, I looked at autism, you know, and about, I don't know, let's say, look, it's a long time since I've been in this now, you know, but let's say 15 years ago, right, we was looking at one child in 10,000 that was diagnosed with autism, you know. Whereas now, I don't know what the numbers are, but it's something like 1 in 10 or whatever it is, you know. So where's that come from, you know? And I'm not going to sit here and say that frequency is everything, right, you know, because I don't believe it is. I think it plays quite a major part of illness, but it's not everything. I think because illness comes from, you know, the air we breathe, the food that we're eating. Look at the food that we're eating. Is that not awful? You know, they're taking the seeds out of fruits and whatever. I mean, in the Philippines, I know someone in the Philippines, and whereas their farmers, you know, rice is their basic food out there, like, yeah. And these rice fields, the farmers, what they would do, they'd plant their rice, grow it, harvest it, sell a lot of it, and they would hold a bit back for their next crop. Right. Well, they can't do that anymore because the seeds don't grow. Right. You know, they've modified them in some way. So now the farmers have to buy new seed whenever they want to grow their rice crops. You know, not all of them, but it's going in that direction. You know, I was going to do a video for you on a pear that I bought. You know, we bought some pears and we had a couple of them, and we've got a few left. And like now, we haven't eaten them, and they're about a month old, and they still look as good as new. You know, well, it's not right. I want my pears to be natural and rot. You know, these things look like the day we bought them. You know, it's crazy what they're doing to everything. And then you've got the water that we drink. Look at that, you know, they put fluoride in it and God knows what else. It's awful. You know, so many people now, they buy bottled water because they're frightened to drink what comes out of their taps. And even that, you know, it's very questionable, this bottled water. So, you know, and also as well, it's exercise. You know, it's all down, it all helps with our health, yeah, the exercise that we're doing. Our lifestyles, you know, are we happy, affects our health. There's so many, you know, the variables are huge with our health. So I'm not saying that this frequency is be all end all, right? Yeah, but it's something that people need to understand or have some understanding of it, because you can't isolate yourself from the world. You know, it's impossible. You can't isolate yourself from frequency. You know, like the earth resonates. The frequency of the earth is something like 7.8, I can't remember what it is exactly, right, yeah, which is a very low frequency, yeah, and that's the frequency that we run on, and birds and life runs on that frequency. all these larger, much larger frequencies are not man-made frequencies. They're not good for us, you know, but our bodies are pretty resilient, and they do cope with a lot of the frequency that we're hit with. And from my learning and my, you know, my studies on this over time, I believe that our bodies are most vulnerable at night when we're sleeping. That's when most of the damage is done, because our bodies change how they work. You know, we're healing and repairing whilst we're sleeping, and a lot of these shielding things are done of nights. You know, now there are companies out there that do this. Geovault is one of them. People also do their own thing. You know, like, you know, I know it sounds mad, but there's people I know that are out there and they wrap themselves in tin foil and things like that when they're sleeping. Not because they want to, but because it makes them sick, and it's the only way they can get a good night's sleep and wake up in the morning feeling a little bit okay, you know. It's pretty awful, you know. So anyway, look, the government knows all about frequency and the damage that it does to our bodies. They're fully aware. And one of the things I saw is, the problem is, a lot of these studies that the government does for us to see are done with their own scientists, paid in their own establishments. And these scientists do what they're told. They're told what to find, yeah, and which is wrong. Yeah, the independent scientists, right, which give us results, are suppressed. You know, like I've heard of Nobel Prize winners that have, you know, been discredited. It's crazy, you know. So anyway, this is that document. What I'll do at the end of it is I will give you a link to my Facebook page. I'll send you the hard copy if you want. And I actually did find it online again. Now, over the course of years, because I've had this document for, I don't know, I reckon maybe 15 years, it keeps disappearing. All right, they take it down, right, and it just so happens when I went up the other day and looked, I found it again, but it's not normal. So, you know, it'd be a good idea to take a hard copy of this. But it's all in there, everything that it does, you know. There you go, there's the last page. Right, I know I've put this on my Heritage Party page, you know, because I'm trying to promote the Heritage Party. And I know that it's not directly linked, but it is in a way that, look guys, if you vote for red, blue, yellow or green parties, you're getting the same thing. They're all controlled by the WEF, the World Economic Forum. Yeah, I mean, Klaus Schwab has openly said that he's infiltrated governments throughout the world. Their people are in major positions, right, and they all answer to the WEF. Yeah, this is a big cabal, including banks, corporates. You know, just look at, you know, you speak to a zombie, yeah, and you say to them, are Pepsi and Coke competitors? And they will say yes. Well, then when you research Pepsi and Coke, Coca-Cola, you'll see that the majority shareholders are Vanguard and BlackRock. You know, these are family controlled PLCs. And these families, like, there's a number of families that control our world, like the Rothschilds, the Carnegies, the Rockefellers. There's like quite a few of them, yeah. One of the big ones that most people know is the Rothschilds. These people used to be out in the open. They didn't hide behind these companies, right? But they got a bad name a long time ago. Yeah, so they went into hiding. So they set up these PLCs and they hide behind them. This is where they are. Yeah, and they're draining this. They're draining um, our money. They're taking our money. You know, and we're just slaves to the system. And they're trying to get more and more control. So you need to move away from red, blue, green, and yellow parties. Yeah. Now the Heritage Party. I've had a look at David Curtin. I've spoken to him on one occasion. Really nice guy, ex-chemistry teacher, but he's honest, right? Yeah, he's not a self-serving politician. Yeah, which most of them are. They're in it for themselves. They're not in it for you. Yeah, and this WEF rewards with payments and allows you to get away with. You know, look at some of the horrendous things that they do nowadays. Do they sack them? Rarely. They move them into another position when they're found out. You know, it's crazy. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it with you now. I don't want it to go on for too long. I don't want to bore you. Hopefully I'll see you again soon when I put up another video. Join the Heritage Party. heritageparty.org. Right, I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.